And we can make another website where people can bid. So let's say that we are bidding. This is the list. This is for test purposes that I've made. So make another bid. Let's say what's the number we are choosing. Well, let's choose 9. And my name is. So you see this, and then we submit it, and then it's added to the list. And here it is. And this is the currency. Now later on, I'm gonna show you how when somebody bids, they also can customize it or delete it, but it's too much for one tutorial. We go in first to Jet Engine, and we're going to talk on the custom content type. That's what we need for the database, to store everything in the database. Forget about the dynamic visibilities. Then we have to use dynamic tables. And I'm using advanced custom fields, but you can also do it with Jet Engine for the post types. So this is the new feature of advanced custom fields, so I tested it out. It works fine. And this is the first thing that you have to do. Making post type, give it a name, and that's all. Able the future image. Then you go to the field groups, so you can make groups, and I have just one group, and that is name. And it's of course fetching to the post type that we've made it in advanced custom field posts. And that's the only thing that you have to do, and then you have to go to the post type and just adding 2 or more test posts. And I'm going to show you how you can make an with the team builder, how you can make an single post. Of course, there are a lot of other people who can show you that, but you have to make a single post. And then the next thing that we have to do is go to the custom content types. Give it a name. It makes automatically its slug and automatically the database. So this is, I have named it biddings in Dutch, so they can bid on the website. And this is the icon. You can choose whatever you like. You can also upload an icon. Just choose this one. I'm not going to explain you why. When you want to know more about it, you can click here. But this mention option is in here. So there are default WordPress data, and I made 4 fields. Now this is of course for the biddings. So you can bid for a car or for something else, for a house. And the rest you can leave it as it is. Fields, text, character limits. You don't have to do this, I did it. Next one is important. This projects, and this project ID. So underscore ID. You just fill it in just the way it is, and then choose for post. And post, you will select in here, is the post type. And what was the post type? Advanced custom fields. And we had here the post types. You can see here the post type. So that's the one that you have to select. Yeah? Don't get confused, I was in the wrong tab. So once you have done that, and then This one we're not going to use it. This is for conditional logics. Later, we're going to do that later on. And of course, you want the name of the person. That is chose here. So fill in name, text area, and that is it. Double on item ID, prefix is hashtag, and then of course you can choose for the admin labels, so it will show in the admin area. Now this is the simple way. There are a lot more things that you can do, but I'm not going to explain you because I can imagine that you can be a little bit overwhelmed. So that is from now on. Next thing, we are going to query builder, and then we have two queries. One is fetched to the custom content type query. Okay, what are you doing? And the other one is for the SQL query. We go into the custom content type query. You can toggle it on and off so you can see the results. Give it a name. So this was the custom content type query, and later on we're going to make the SQL query. It's the database query, but first the custom content type query. And this is from the content type. In this case is salaris bots. So this is where they can make their bids. We go here, custom content type, and here it is. Status is any. Also choose for publish. And then we have to sort parameters. So you have to click on sort parameters. The field is projects. Is equal to. So projects here it is in the CCT, the custom content type. You see, this is so important. Otherwise, it won't connect to the database from this one, from the custom content type, from the post type. Sorry. So that is what is stored here in the query builder, or what we are going to store. Projects is equal to objects ID from current context. You can find it in here. And that's the only thing that you have to do in here. So that was very easy, wasn't it? And so we query it to the post ID. Go another query builder, and we go into the SQL query builder. I'll give it a name. What is it? It's a query builder, SQL query builder from table. It's once again from the table CCT salaris aanbod in this case. So the SQL, the database came from, once again, this guy, salaris aanbod. This is the database where we're going to grab the data from. And here it is once again. So this is the query builder, but we must grab the ID It's the same thing. We need it. We want that ID is equal to, and it's just the same thing. The only thing that changes is number, because this is a number value. It's the biddings. They are numbers. You have to group it. Don't forget to group it. And group by is the same thing. So this is the group. Include the ID. We don't going to use it in this tutorial, but just do it. ID counts. So this is the values that they grab from the database. It is the calculation, and this is the one. It must be sum. So it can be any combination of numbers. It doesn't have counts. And once again, it's this one, the custom content type. So the database will understand, or the system will understand what he has to grab. Let's see. It's in here, and it's also in here. Same thing, but this is the calculation. And then once you have done that, you have to update the whole thing. We go into the table builder, and once we have the table builder, then we have to choose for the name, donations. You can make it whatever you want. Query data. This is the query data that we want to have. So it came from the query builder. And from, once again, the custom content type query. That's where we grab all the data from. You see? It's from the query builder. Now here come the tricky parts, because the columns are not from the query builder. We query things out in the table, but the columns are different. This is the name, this is the label name, row value, post term, user object fields, and the select fields, and its name. And once again, we're going to the CCT, and then we are going to grab the data from here. Here it is. So this is one, and the second one is actually the same. Just put in the label in here what you want to display on the front ends in here, and the values are the same except for the meta key. That's the only difference. This is another meta key. And for the rest, you can style it a little bit. In the middle and the center. I keep it in the center or the left. You can also put it in the left. See, it's now here in the center. I'll actually just leave it in the center. I'm not going to update it, so I'm just going to leave it as the way it is. And then when we are going here into the templates and the template builder and the single page templates, it's actually in here. Why do it so difficult if you can do it so easy? And there it is, form builder. So the form builder, you have to use the jet form builder. so they can submit it. And when you have the form builder in here, the first thing must be the current post ID. So put in here the value current post ID, and the field default is current post ID. Go to get forms, and post submission action is always the same. Insert, update, custom content type. It's in here the same, it's in all the fields the same. So don't worry about that. And who cares about the labels? Not on this moment. So this is one. The second field is duplicated from this one. Is also a hidden field. So you just duplicate it if it's not already there. And it's the current post title. So the first one was the ID, and this is the title. And font title name is project name. Give it the name. And the value is the current post title. And what do you know? It's the same thing. And then we have the biddings. So it's a number. You have to embed it in here. The meta value. By, and then we are going to the advanced custom fields. No, it's not the advanced custom fields. Is of course, once again, because all the data comes from the custom content types. That's where all the data came from. Copy this one. This are the biddings. Just paste it in here. You could go. And this is the name. Just paste in here. Username is always good because this is the default metadata that WordPress uses. So even if you are Chinese or if you're coming from France or wherever you come from, when you're using user data, it's always good. And once again, it's the same thing in here. And for the rest, leave it as it is. And then to the submit button, and you go to the settings, then you can use it, and it's just once again the same thing. And that's basically everything what you have to do. Now we can use conditional logics, but we are not going to do that. And you can also use, of course, PayPal payments or Stripe or something like that. It's too much for this tutorial. And once you have done that, then basically you have to go to grab the shortcodes and put it in the single page in here. Later I'm going to show you how you can send also an email address, email notification from the one who made the post, but it is for a later tutorial. I hope you understand a little bit what I'm meaning with this. You can also use it when you are selling cars or everything, whatever. And I'll see you in the next tutorial. And how do they say that when with Elementor? Ciao for now. It's the Elementor greeting. Bye.